Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and His Son Yahusha Mashiach. My name is Malek Shalomo. Today is the 15th of October 2024. It's 12:28 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm going to do a trade recap here I did on simulated trading on Bitcoin using Bookmap. So let me just point out that's trading simulated right there. Right? I'm using 10 Bitcoins. I'm using a 20-point stop and a 80-point take profit, but I move that around. That's a bracket order right there. So I think this 20 actually means 200 points in Bitcoin, and this is 800 points, right? So let's see here. Let me just go to the open here and point out a few things. Right, so one of the first things I'm looking at here is where we open. So we open around this level here. That's around, I would say, maybe 65,850, 65,820. Some wait, just now. Let me just make that exact. Hold on. So roughly 65,828 is where we opened, right? So we're opening just below this floor pivot R1, which is a weekly floor pivot. Let me just open that. You see that's R1 weekly, 65,870. And that's weekly Camarilla R4 at 65,930. Right, so we have no daily levels here. The closest daily level is the top central pivot, which is in a higher value relationship at 65,530. Another level we have here is the previous week VPOC, which is at 65,510. So I have that highlighted as well here on the chart, right? So it's either two things could really happen here at the open. We either go to this liquidity here on the offer at, it has approximately 606 Bitcoin available on the offer here at 66,100, or we go back to the weekly volume point of control, the previous week's volume point of control at around roughly 65,500, right? So we're gonna just go into the minutia here and look at the anchored VWAP. All right. Right, so this solid line right here, that's VWAP. This is first upper deviation, second upper deviation, and third upper deviation. This one here is first lower deviation, second lower deviation, and third lower deviation, right? So we immediately came up here, we tested the third upper deviation, and then we came down here to roughly the second lower deviation, right? We found like a buying setup here. This is kind of like a bowling green setup. This is where I take a breakout of the first upper deviation for reversal, but that has to be coupled with a pivot level, and we have no pivot levels here, right? So didn't take this, although this is a target that the bullish run is supposed to go to this level here, right? Because price basically chases liquidity, right? So you see here we have 931 on the offer, 364 and 684, right? Right, so on this reversal here, we actually, when price came up to this level, let's see here, right, they kind of pulled their offer a little bit and we ran through, they got absorbed a little bit, but these bubbles here are actually happening probably on another exchange because they wouldn't shoot through this liquidity, right? So when you see bubbles here actually going over this level, this liquidity is actually without filling these orders, it's actually happening on a different exchange, right? But on this exchange here, which is I believe is Binance, right? So on Binance here, and this is Bookmap data as well, which I believe they get from Binance. Um, these orders here are getting absorbed by this liquidity, right? So we have some resistance here. Price move sideways, and what's this level again? This is 66,100, right? So 66,100. We have a little consolidation until a big buyer here enters the play, and we push through that level. So we get filled here at, well, not, I didn't get filled, but buyers got the offer got filled here, and they absorbed the offer right here, right? So they pushed through, right? I still don't have any pivot levels to actually work any of my strategies here. So I was waiting for it to get up to Camarilla R3, which is in a higher value relationship on the day. So this is another liquidity target that they targeted here at 66,497. And as you can see, the same play happened. They came up here, got absorbed a little bit, consolidated their buying power, and then they went through, right? Came up to this level here again and absorbed this as well, right? So buyers in control and they're taking liquidity off the offer. And let's see here. Right, so we had a pullback here. Came down to roughly 66,453. After we got this liquidity here, they pulled back. We broke down from the first upper deviation. Now, this could be a Black Sun strategy where I take a breakdown of the first upper deviation, which is this one right here, right? See it coming across. Let me just use the arrow, right? So that's the first upper deviation. We're getting a breakdown here, but there is no pivot level again to coincide with this being resistance, right? So I just look at this as order flow without like a pivot level of resistance to go along with it, right? So no reversal there. I mean no rejection, and didn't take any shorts there. So still waiting for it to get up to Camarilla R3. Right, so we came up here pushing up, taking out liquidity 649 at 6,700. I mean 67,000. Right, so we're pushing up, pushing up. Now we're getting up to Camarilla R3, right? So at this point here, we just took out this liquidity here at 67,200. So let me open this up here so we can see why I took this long. Right, so now we're looking at price action here at Camarilla R3, right? Now we're above the first upper deviation, which is this line right here. So it's nice and bullish from a volume weighted average price perspective. It's nice and bullish. We just took out this liquidity. If you look at this bubble here, it's way more than 2/3 of buying compared to the future, which is selling. So heavy buying going up here. So it took this breakout of Camarilla R3, which was sitting at 67,190, right? So after we broke out here, took this buy, it actually pulled back just below, and this is actually monthly Camarilla R3 as well at 67,160, right? So we came back, retested here around 67,124, and liquidity came in here again. So this offer here, probably somebody taking profit. So when they saw this pullback, they entered here again in case price came back up, they could take profit here. So initiative buyers still buying, broke out from that level. And let's see now what's gonna be my target, right? Let's see here. So I'm taking a Camarilla R3 breakout in a higher value relationship day, right? So we were looking to see if we have bullish action at Camarilla R3, which is usually, well, not usually, but it's a resistance zone in the Camarillas, but it's resistance if we start getting exhaustion at that level. If we get a breakout of that level and a retest and a go, then it's a breakout level, right? So now I'm looking at this. This is the first target here for the breakout, which was at 67,600, right? I saw those guys pull. So when they pull off the offer, we're having easy access for buyers to buy through that level because there is no absorption to take place. They could just hit market order and they'll sweep the book to the upside, right? Now we're starting to look at this level here as a take profit, right? Which was 6,800, right? So that's what I did. I started trailing my stop as price structure, do some swing lows here, just putting my stop just below this level, right? So as we broke up, moving my stop up, and I actually put my target just below this heavy liquidity here at 6,800, right? So you can see, let me just point that out, right? So I'm stair stepping as we come in, as we create these swing lows, right? Stair stepping again. And this was the last stair step. I was going to take this up to this level here, but my take profit was already here, right? So you can see I move my take profit up just above liquidity, just below liquidity here at 6,800. Right, so let me just show you the take profit. Right, so that's the take profit right there just before this heavy liquidity, and that was a good idea because when you're taking profit or when you're setting take profit targets, you should front run these liquidity levels because you don't know where price is gonna stop or not be able to push through anymore. So try to front run some of these heavy liquidity levels, right? So prior to this level here, we were getting the buyers pushing through this level, but at this point they stopped, right? So that's a good idea to kind of front run these heavy liquidity zones. So I took profit at 67,990, right? And then after that we actually started selling off. So I guess at this point here, I kind of picked the top. This was like 10 points away from this liquidity. Let's see what actually happened. Let's go to current price action. Right, so we still have this liquidity here up at this level. And let's see how much pullback they actually came back to. After my take profit, let's see here. So after this take profit, we actually failed a lot. We came back down to previous week's VPOC and rotated around there, found buyers to try and come back up here again. So this was actually a nice little bowling green strategy. Let me just point that out. So I could have taken a reversal here as well. Right, so this is my bowling green strategy where between -1 VWAP and -2 VWAP, and we have this pivot level here. We have Camarilla S3, and we have that blue right there. That's the central pivot. So that's a double pivot, golden pivot zone, right? So we have heavy support there, and we take either the buy off of -2 VWAP. We could take the breakout of this little structure right here, the breakout to the upside, or we could take the breakout right here at the break above this -1 VWAP and just ride that up to probably the first or second upper deviation. So let's see where we're at. So we're just getting up to +1 VWAP, right? So this could be a profit taking target right here, right? Just kind of coincide this with either just under this liquidity here or just under this +1 VWAP. So if I did take that reversal, it would be a nice take profit on this one as well, right? So yeah, that's my trade, simulated trade, and practicing my strategies on Bitcoin. So using Bookmap's order flow to kind of stay sharp until I get back this ES subscriptions with Rhythmic and stuff like that to trade ES futures off of Bookmap. All right, y'all. So it's Malek Shalomo. Y'all trade safe and stay blessed.